Let's go, Rider Nation.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah, here we go. Get the feeling now. Get 'em high, get 'em low, 'cause we're dealing now. Everybody's giving it all they got, 'cause we're ready.
This is the Piffles Podcast, your Saskatchewan Rough Riders fan podcast. Thanks for joining us here this week. You got me. I'm Alex.
I'm Steve.
I'm tired. I am not
Okay.
built to watch sports until 1 o'clock in the morning like I used to be.
There's a 1 o'clock in the morning now.
Apparently every day. Apparently.
Hmm.
I used to know that in university. I don't. Lately, I don't know anymore.
The guy who
My
regularly gets up at 3 a.m. telling us there's a 1 a.m. You're the only one who sees darkness in the daytime.
I get up at 4:30. So I got 3.5 hours of sleep essentially.
Good.
Stuff
Suffer.
Stuff you
I
guys
am.
do for baseball of all things. I went to bed after the seventh inning.
Hey, I am the first to admit I am a lapsed Jays fan. Like I follow them on the peripheral, but man, it feels good to watch baseball again. That actually means something.
See, and I'm the opposite. I'm one of those that watches about 90 games a year.
Yeah, this isn't going to be a Jays podcast, but it's pretty fun watching the Jays, especially in the World Series when they're keeping it super close and they have a shot here against the Dodgers. Like that's pretty fun. So that's what's going to keep us busy over this next week because the Riders aren't playing, and that's a great feeling because we got the bye week. Got to do something to pass the time. So we'll talk the Riders bye week coming up here. Piffles Podcast, your Saskatchewan Rough Riders fan podcast. You can give us a follow on social media anywhere you go at Piffles Pod. I'm at Real Alex D.
Sorry, I'm taking a sip of my drink. I'm Safamod.
Yeah, that's your cue.
Yeah.
And
It's not like we haven't done
I-
this 338 times before.
I'm like, why is he drinking? He knows he's next. I thought he was going to do like the ventriloquist thing. I was really.
How else do you
hoping-
expect me to put up with you, Greg?
I was really hoping it was going to be like the ventriloquist thing, where all of a sudden just a voice comes out while Steve is drinking. But it's something he needs to work on.
Take
I
a
guess.
cut from last week's episode. And I'm Steve. Great.
And as
2
always, I
minutes
do
in,
not
we've
need
jumped
to-
the shark.
And as always, I do not need nor want your pity fellas at Craig on Sports.
Thanks for listening wherever you get your podcasts, watching on YouTube, watching on SaskTel Max TV on demand. Of course, Piffles Podcast is brought to you by Dairy Queen on Elphinstone Street and Sask Drive in Regina. We're also proud to be sponsored by Kathy Festian of Royal LePage Next Level, Churchill Brewing Company, District 306, Regina's tactical laser tag experience, Bigfoot Vodka, and Creasy's Premium Home Leisure Jacuzzi Spas. After the Winnipeg game, I was disappointed the Riders didn't win. After this game against the Lions, I was pissed. Let's get into it. It's time for the opening kickoff. And it wasn't because the Riders lost. It was that BS penalty or blown whistle. Now, full disclosure, I couldn't make it to the game. Had a last minute thing. Had to duck out. Ended up watching the game at home. From what I understand, on that Tavon Campbell fumble recovery, when it looked like Keon Hatcher was just about to break the goal line for the BC Lions, clear as day on TV, you can hear the whistle. Clear as day. Apparently, in the stadium, you couldn't really hear it.
Nope.
So everybody thought that. So I just kind of sat back. I'm like, well, it's not going to count. You can run 107 yards all you want.
Yeah.
It's not going to count. And based on what actually happened, yes, the correct call was made. But this is my issue, and this roots back to the rule changes that we're going to be seeing over the next 2 years. Fix the problems you already have first. Please, CFL. This reffing. Why was that whistle blown so fast? I know it's a bang bang kind of thing, but you gotta let things kind of play out a little bit. Why, like, even if you think that's a touchdown, if you're the ref, that's a pretty early whistle to be calling that. You just throw up your arms, make the call, and then you can let the rest play out. But that stuff, And yes, that cost the Riders the game. I will say it right now. The Riders win that game. That's a huge, 10-point turnaround, whatever it was, or you can call
14.
it a 14-point turnaround because BC got a touchdown on the next, field goal.
No, they scored a touchdown.
Was it a touchdown?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yep.
that's a 14-point swing right there. And there's no doubt in my mind that the Riders win that game. If that's just let go. So just reffing in general. And yes, I understand there's problems everywhere. Every league has problems with the reffing. Focus on that, please. That needs to be paramount for the CFL to fix, because way too many times, and yes, a couple times in the last couple weeks against the Riders, BS calls costing teams games. And that just can't happen. I understand human error and all that with reffing. It's going to happen. You see it in baseball with umpires and their ridiculous strike zones. But this is stuff that needs to be a primal focus for the CFL going forward.
Well, here's my problem. So the ref got whistle happy, blew the whistle exactly once. Because like you, unfortunately, I didn't end up not making the game last second either. So I was watching it as well. And the whistle blew once. Like you said, you could hear it clear as day on the broadcast. The fact remains is they let Campbell run all the way and not another whistle happened. What happened if some BC Lion came and clipped him and he hurt his knee at the end? Like, if you're going to blow the play dead, blow the play dead.
Yeah, keep blowing that whistle then.
Yeah.
Well, I think the problem is the ref realized he made a mistake blowing the whistle as soon as he did, and maybe he hoped nobody noticed. But that's honestly the second time now this season that the Riders have been screwed out of a defensive touchdown on a ridiculous early whistle. And I'm not one to cry conspiracy. I am one to cry Al Bradbury sucks, but I'm not going to cry conspiracy. This is not a screw the Rider situation. Tom Valesi was nowhere near.
Yeah, it was Tom Valesi, 100% it would have been, yeah.
Right? But this is becoming a pattern, and it needs to stop. And I said it on Twitter. You want to fix the game before you fix the rules, because people are tuning out when these mistakes happen. And that blown whistle could have cost the Calgary Stampeders $1 million, which, I mean, good. But like it changed the entire landscape of the CFL playoffs, because if that game goes the way it looked like it was going, suddenly BC is going west. BC's going east. Winnipeg's back in the west. Calgary's got a home playoff game, and everything's different. You got to learn to let these plays play out. They need to take this serious and make this a consistent thing where if you are not 100% sure that you are correct in your call, put the whistle away, let the play happen, especially on a turnover and touchdown, both of which get automatically reviewed.
Yeah.
Just let it play out. Let the play go and fix it at the end. It never ceases to amaze me. This league can't get out of their own way.
Now that said, obviously it didn't matter in the standings, right? Like it's whatever. It was the same thing against Winnipeg. It didn't matter. It's fine. Not worried about 2 losses going into the playoffs. 27-21, they lose, go to 12-6. The one thing that actually got me was the very first play, the offensive play. Another breakdown by the secondary. Now, I know this secondary is going to look hopefully drastically different than what we're going to see in the West Final. But these big plays, the Riders want to win the Grey Cup. They got to eliminate those. The communication in the defensive backfield has to be there. We've seen too many breakdowns this year. And yes, they can overcome them. We've seen them do it the entire year. But come games in November, that's not something that you want to see. So that kind of bugged me, especially on the very first play. We should kind of know what we're doing. I guess they didn't. They took that one off.
Here's the thing, though. Yes, that happened, but it seemed like after that they settled in because it took.
Well, they were excellent after.
like it was weird. It was like all of a sudden that was their wake up call, going, "Oh yeah, game's on." So yes, I'm a little more confident going in to the playoffs, knowing that, and nothing against his play. Red Wine looked good, but he's not going to be on that starting unit unless there's massive injuries happening. So
You better be knocking on wood right now. Jesus.
So I'm not as concerned, but yeah, when everyone is healthy and out there, you got to hope they're locked in, and I'm certainly will be.
You want to talk about locked in though? Look at the offense that followed immediately after that drive. Yeah. What a precision drive from Trevor Harris in the offense to turn around and answer back when that could have just killed the entire momentum of the game. When you give up a first play touchdown like that, to turn around and march the field the way that Trevor Harris and that offense did. Do you remember like 5 weeks ago when we were sitting there talking about how it sucks that the Riders don't know how to start a game offensively, and now seems to be all they do? Is it 4 or 5 straight games where they've started a game with a touchdown,
opening drive touchdown?
Yeah. Ever since I compared them to Screaming True North at the beginning of the anthem, I believe is when they turned it around. They got the message. Like, oh, we look like Bomber fans out here. Loud and clear.
Because that was as perfect a drive as you could ask for. You know, and we can get into the offense as a whole, or at least the starting offense as a whole, and talk about perfection. That game gave me a lot of confidence going into to the West Final.
Well, and that's what I wanted to talk about a little bit too, was that starting offense. Trevor Harris going 10 of 11, 112 yards. And thanks for Rob Vanstone for getting this out right after the game, or during the game, after Harris got pulled. Broke his own record for completion percentage as a Rider this year, 73.57%. He had the Rider record last year at 72.42%. So
what was Lothar's kicking record?
I don't have it in front of me. I think it was slightly less. It might have been. Yeah. Was, yeah. But the efficiency of that starting offense, even after the first drive, I was like, okay, he's in sync. You got KSB making a couple nice plays. The timing there with Harris and Schaefer Baker was excellent. I was like, I saw all I needed to in that very first drive. Obviously, the starters still played the second drive there, and that bled into the second quarter. But that was, I'm so comfortable with this offense right now going into the West Final, regardless of who we play, because Trevor Harris is healthy. The O-line stayed healthy there. Logan Ferland and Jamarcus Hardrick, obviously, coming back for this one. Philippe Gagnon had the game off, but I'm not too worried about bringing him back after one game. And just everything that we saw from the offense, I am not worried at all, even though we're hoping that 4 of those 5, or 3 of the 5 starters anyway for receivers, are going to be completely different than what we just saw against BC.
But look at what we've seen from Trevor Harris all year. It doesn't matter what receiving core we trot out there. For the most part, he seems to just work. Like, you don't put up 73.5% completion percentage if you're not driving that offense, and the offense runs through him, and it doesn't matter who's out there. But imagine that getting back Keyshawn Johnson, Dante Myers, and the return of Kean Schaefer Baker cannot be understated to me at this point. He is absolutely that energy guy that this offense needed, because it doesn't feel like AJ Ouellette's kind of been that this year. He's kind of taken a little bit off of that, that over energy kind of guy that he's been. Kean Schaefer Baker's gone in the exact opposite direction, and is just, it's fun to watch him when he's like that.
Why do you think KSB is the most popular rider?
No,
or one of the top 3 anyway.
He's that energy guy completely. He's the guy always jumping on the benches, yelling at the fans, "Let's go!" He's the one after every play, putting a little swagger on it. He is that guy. He's that fan favorite, exactly, for a reason. There's a reason why there's more probably KSB jerseys out there, and not just because they make more money selling the nameplate. But
yeah, they don't make their money based off letters.
Yeah, yeah. You have to pay extra on that one because you can't get that one heat done.
But seeing him back, in fine form after his injury, this year. That was nice to see. I can't say enough how much I'm a big fan of Tommy Neild. From what we've seen from him and from a depth position this year, he's been fantastic. I think he's a guy that's going to be sneaky good in the playoffs. Like, you want to look back at, 1989, you had Mark Guy, kind of that unsung hero of the Grey Cup game. Not that I think Tommy Neild will be that clutch guy at the end, but he's going to be making plays in the West Final, potentially beyond, because of the trust that Trevor Harris now has in him. And he's just proven himself so valuable that regardless of which receivers are in the starting lineup, Neild has to be on the field a lot. And he's a red zone guy. They clearly trust him. I can't wait to see what he does in the playoffs.
Like, you look at top to bottom, this Canadian depth at receiver, it's ridiculous. KSB's back from injury. You got Tommy Neild. Although fourth quarter Mitch seems to be catching the ball right now. Yeah. He's getting a lot of plays. DDB is usually pretty good in the clutch. Joe is a physical beast. Like, these Canadian receivers would be ones or twos on other rosters right now, it seems, because they're that damn good, and we have them all in our roster.
And I'll take your Tommy Neild and hit you with two more. The three Tommies on this roster are going to play such a huge role in how this team performs come the playoffs. We saw what Bertrand Houdon can do. We saw what this offense looks like without Tommy Stevens, and it was questionable at best, despite the rushing touchdowns from Jack Cohn. But
yeah, Jack Cohn had 2 rushing touchdowns, although he did get stuffed on.
I was going to say,
at the beginning of
he also had a fumble and a 3rd and 1 drop.
No, the fumble was on Jake Mayer, though.
Yeah,
right, my bad.
Hey, as long as Jake Cohen's following Ali Saad, he's fine. If he went any other way, he was screwed.
That game was. Sorry, go ahead, Steve.
I just say I can't watch Jack Cohn as our 3rd string short yardage guy. It made me miss Tommy Stevens. Watching him take a step back and then try and kind of it is. With Tommy Stevens, you put your feet up, you lay back, you relax, you wait for the next set of downs because you know he's going to convert, if not 95% of the time, higher than that. Whereas with Jack Cohn, I was nervous every time. It didn't matter if it was 3rd and a half an inch. It just felt like he was barely trying to get it, not pushing forward.
It was because he was patient and trying to follow the blocks. Like, he was both those rush touchdowns, he was clearly following Ali Saad's lead block. So he was waiting for Saad to get out there so he could follow right behind him. I think that's what it was. He was just trying to be patient, waiting for the block. Whereas Tommy Stevens, we see him just make that decision. And even if he's, going to run off tackle, he's making that decision and he's going. He's not waiting for anybody. He's getting that first. So I think that's the difference between the two of them. I think Tommy Stevens is a little bit more comfortable in that role than Jack Cohn is.
And that half a second that you have between thinking about what you're going to do and doing it that you get with Jack Cohn makes all the difference on short yardage. And you saw it. Like I said, the 3rd and 1 stop, and there were a couple more that were not far off being stuffed on their own. It's comforting seeing Tommy Stevens tweet today, knowing that his return is hopefully imminent.
The manifesting worked.
Right?
But the only question I have is when Tommy Stevens has the ball is he finally going to break one for 69 yards on someone else other than us? Because I've been waiting for that all year.
Yarder. Like, Stevens he's bound to break one. He's going to break one.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of people calling for AJ Ouellette to be our short yardage guy if Tommy Stevens is out. I don't like that at all. I like the smallest threat of the guy behind center being able to step back and throw, and having even if it's Jack Cohn, I'd rather have that than AJ Ouellette back there. But hopefully we don't have to make that choice, and it's just Tommy Stevens for the rest of the season and beyond.
In a pinch, Ouellette's fine in that role. Not his best role, but he'd be fine. I wouldn't worry too much about it. It just wouldn't be. I'd only put one foot up on the seat in front of me, not both of them with my feet out, relaxed. if it was AJ Ouellette. What did you guys think of Jake Mayer in this game? Threw an interception on his second pass, had the fumble on the quarterback sneak. But other than that, honestly, really wasn't that bad. Looked like a backup quarterback, though.
It's really sad when, other than his 2 glaring mistakes that cost points, he wasn't that bad. I mean, the pick was an awful throw, immediately following an interception by the Riders to potentially swing momentum. And again, the fumble right at the end of the half cost the Riders 3, maybe 7 points. But from that point on, you're right. He did look decent. Like, he could facilitate this offense if needed in the playoffs, but you're not getting Trevor Harris. You are getting Timu Trevor Harris, and you know it.
Well, and here's the thing, and I know we're going to have this conversation at some point in the offseason about the quarterback succession plan. Maybe it's not a bad thing we only signed him to a 1-year contract and we're kind of doing this rent-to-own deal we got with him right now, because I'm not sold on him. I know Alex has never been sold on him.
You guys know my thoughts on him.
But the fact remains is he was a starting quarterback in this league, and it looks like it's not learning it for the first time, but it looks like he's been playing backup the entire time when he was a legit starter at one point.
Was he, though? Or was he just a starter because they thought they had something?
They bumped Bo Levi Mitchell. You bump a Hall of Famer for a guy, that kind of says enough right there.
Come on, the Riders did that to Zach Caleros and for Cody Fajardo, and look what happened.
I'm not saying it always works. Shout out to Nelson Lacombo getting his first career regular season interception.
I was going to say, I'm like, no, because they said his first interception. I'm like, no. I'm like, oh yeah, playoffs. Yeah, okay,
yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Both against BC, one against Vernon Adams last year. This one against Nathan Rourke. I thought he was okay in his first game back. I still think they should go with CJ Rivas at safety and have Lacombo as the backup and maybe rotating in. The thing I didn't like was too many times, and Lacombo was guilty of it. Others were guilty of it too. I think Redwine was, but just trying to make the shoulder tackle and just hitting a guy down instead of wrapping him up. And we've seen, I've ranted about that for the last couple of years on this show. It's haven't this year because the team seemed to have kind of cleaned it up and learned how to tackle properly. But when you're going for a big hit, well, receivers will just bounce off you. And I saw that a few too many times for my liking in this game.
Oh yeah, it definitely looked like they went to a crash course at the Nick Marshall School of Tackling. Yeah, you can't do that in the playoffs. It's going to backfire on you. Wrap up a guy, take the yardage. Like, it's football, fellas. Like, not every hit needs to be a big hit. Don't get me wrong. If you got a shot, sometimes you take it, but make them sure play.
The exception to that rule is Marcus Sales. If he wants to make a big hit, he's earned the right to go for the hit every time because he's been laying people out for the last year and a half. The one thing that did concern me, I do like Lacombo, and you mentioned he was okay. And that's what you're going to get out of Nelson Lacombo. You're going to get okay to slightly above average, but you're not getting anything that's going to concern an offensive coordinator. And I'm with you that they need to put CJ Rivas back there or have some kind of rotation where you make them game plan around that position. Because if you can throw over the middle all day long, you're going to have a lot of success against this defense the way they play. You need somebody back there who can kind of give that little bit of a threat.
Well, we've been saying this since Lacombo was put at the safety position. He's a natural corner. He is not that guy that's going to make you keep your head up. He's a cover safety, which is such a weird thing to have in the CFL. You want that guy covering that middle, laying those hits, making them think twice when they come across on those crossers. That's not Nelson Lacombo.
Yeah, I think that'll be a conversation we get into a little bit more next week. Once a couple practices are in ahead of the West Final and how that roster is going to shake out. Once we kind of get an update on the health of everybody, because the ratio is going to play a huge factor in the West Final lineup. Because, you're probably starting another Canadian offensive lineman. than you did this game. Hopefully you're starting a couple different American receivers, and everything's just going to kind of be jumbled up from what we've seen the last 2 games. So there's going to be a lot of roster management that needs to get done, to the point where I don't know what they're going to do with kicker at this point. Michael Hughes, 2 of 2, longest of 42 in this game, made both of his converts. So a very successful CFL debut for Michael Hughes. I know a lot of people are calling for him over Lothar. I don't think it's going to happen. And I think the ratio has a big deal with that.
I don't even think it's a ratio thing. I don't see, unless he is injured, unless that back injury is legit, there is no way this team goes into the playoffs with a chance to win the Grey Cup without Brett Lothar on that roster.
You know, the guy kicked once or twice before. I doubt that.
I don't, but not even that. I don't think, how do I put this? Football is a business, but this is personal. I don't think anyone on that roster wants to see Brett Lothar go out this way, because they all love the guy. Like it is very apparent by how they all defended him, no matter how bad he was kicking, that he was their guy.
I don't even think it's a business versus personal thing. I think that Brett Lothar, the way that he closed out the season, won his job back. He went, other than the 40 or the 50-yarder in Winnipeg, which I don't think TV really showed how bad the weather was in that game. It was miserable at that point in the game. He's been money. I've started to feel comfortable in Brett Lothar back there again, which is funny to think of when we've all called for his head multiple times this season. But I think it's more a matter of he has won that job back. And going into the playoffs, you don't want to give a new guy his first real taste of legitimate football in a meaningful game, because that was effectively a preseason game for the Riders. His first meaningful game in a do or die playoff game is asking a lot.
Again, conversation for next week. We'll see what happens with. They're going to practice a little bit this week, but we'll start to see things ramp up. Next Tuesday with what they're going to do, and we'll get a little bit more of a clear look then. But that'll be another one of those things that we got to mark down now, because that'll be something to talk about in a week. And last thing on the game, shout out to Mario Alford, passing Corey Holmes for the most kick return yards in Rough Rider history. Not too bad.
Imagine if they counted all his yards running to the sidelines.
If they counted the horizontal yards,
he passed them 2 years ago.
Don't get me wrong. I love Mario when he's feeling it, but like at the beginning of the season, he was feeling it, and now it seems like, oh, there's the Mario that we complained about last year. Like I see it again. I'm hoping in the playoffs. Like I know, and don't get me wrong, the last couple of games have meant nothing, so you're trying to stay healthy at this point. So I'm hoping that the fact that they have no one that can really take over from us, I think Champagne Jr. is going to be that. I have no idea.
Nope. You don't want to bring Dre McCray back?
Yeah, well, that's it. Like,
Thanks.
He started running for. I hate to say this, but Dre McCray didn't light the world on fire. But the minute they released Dre McCray, he started running to the sidelines again. So the fact that he knows he has no one behind him breathing down his neck seems like he's back in his comfort zone, which I'm hoping the playoffs lights a fire under his butt.
Well, I heard they tried to sign Dre McCray to the practice roster, but he dropped the contract.
Well, for Mario, when it comes to the playoffs, I mean, this is it. It's all in, right? So, and just to kind of wrap up that game, again, BC's now won 6 straight games. They're the hottest team in the league. The Riders took them to their limit with their backups.
Yeah.
So I know people are concerned. Yeah, well, we haven't won in a couple weeks. Don't like going into the playoffs on a 2-game losing streak. Well, they did that in 2013. That turned out okay. They lost their last 2 regular season games. I think in 2007 they lost their last regular season game. I'm not too worried about that. We played our backups and spaced it out. We had 2 games to space it out and do the whole load management thing. And I thought they did it brilliantly. with these 2 games and how they did it, I'm not worried at all. This team is so deep that our backups are taking the best team in the league that everybody's calling the BC Lions to the brink where they need to ref screw up to beat us.
Hey, and the week before, we took a dynasty team to the brink as well.
That's DIE.
I think that was the title of one of our shows, actually.
Dynasty, it was.
Dynasty,
Completely was.
yeah.
I know it was.
Dear Montreal, please do something. That's all.
Yeah. But they got out of the game healthy. Joe, they looked at his ankle late in that game, but seemed he bounced up and ran off the field, jogged off the field. So hopefully nothing major there. We'll probably get an update on him in the next couple of days. But they got out of the game healthy. They did everything they needed to do in the last 2 weeks. No other major injuries. And hopefully it's just everybody getting healthy for these last hopeful 2 games. Otherwise, in the opening kickoff, Player of the Year award nominations, the team's nominees were all announced last week. No surprise that the MOP, most outstanding player, was Trevor Harris. Defensive Player of the Year, Jameer Thurman, I think we can all say was pretty much a given. The Canadian, AJ Allen. Are you surprised he got that over Tavon Campbell?
Yes and no. I think Campbell's injury problem and not playing last part of the season hurt him. Allen deserves it. Probably if there's an underrated award in this league,
he wins it.
He wins it by far. Like if there was the NBA's version of a 6th man, that is the AJ Allen award right there.
Yeah, Jameer Thurman going on social media, pumping up AJ Allen and saying it's time for him to get recognized nationally, and now he's finally kind of getting that due. So I love that one. The most outstanding offensive lineman, Jamarcus Hardrick. Greg, you're the stand for Logan Ferland. Are you okay with that?
I didn't like it. Don't hate it. I stand by
Yoshi though.
I'm not going. Like I said, I don't like it. I don't hate it though. At the end of the day, it wasn't like they say if it's unanimous or not. It wasn't unanimous. So I guarantee you, it was probably neck and neck between him and Ferland. And
there's no bad choice there.
Yeah, there's no bad choice. Like you can make an argument for either one of the guys. So yeah, I don't hate it. Honestly, actually going back, not that I hate the Jameer Thurman one. I probably would have went with Carney if I had a vote. I'm just saying that right there. Carney was a beast on that defensive line this year.
I think with Carney, it was in waves.
Yeah.
Whereas Thurman was just that steady guy all across the board.
And that's it. Like you cannot put a stat on Jameer Thurman's leadership in that defensive backfield. And so I don't hate it, but I'm actually kind of surprised that they gave it to him over Carney, if I'm being completely honest.
And if you want to go back, I want to go back to the offensive line. Honestly, that award should go to Edwin Harrison. Or you just pick the entire offensive line as a unit. Because how many weeks this year was the Riders' offensive line the honor roll winner? And if they weren't the winner that week, how many of those do you think they were second in the league?
Yeah. This
was a consistent group, and it didn't matter who they trotted out there. They kept our quarterbacks upright and managed to make AJ Ouellette, or me, almost into a, fortune teller, and seeing AJ Ouellette lead the league in rushing. I don't mind Jamarcus Hardrick, but I think, like I said, I think it should be just the unit as a whole. I realize you can't do that, but it was just that to me this year.
Case in point, you look at the Rookie of the Year nomination, Peyton Collins at left tackle. It's not very often you're going to get a rookie left tackle in the CFL come in and perform the way that he has. And he ended up being that rock. He was the third left tackle this year.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
And he solidified that. And I mean, He's 24 years old. Like, usually guys will bounce around the NFL for a couple of years and then come up here and they can kind of handle the left tackle in their first year. But this is a raw rookie. This isn't just brand new to the CFL guy. This is from, what is he, Eastern Kentucky?
Yes.
Or Kentucky is where he went to school. Like, this is outstanding, honestly, is what it is.
And also it says a lot that, and don't get me wrong, he played very well, but it tells you how few rookies made an impression on this team, that our choice is a offensive lineman who has no shot at the award.
Yeah.
Wow, there's nobody else in the league who has any shot in the award. That's going. You might as well just write Trey Vavel's name on it and get it over with. Everybody knows where that one's going.
Yeah, and special teams as well too. Trey Vavel's going to get. Nick Weeb is the Rider special teams nominee. Any of these guys you think could actually win the award?
Nope. MOP.
Maybe
not even Yoshi.
I'd say Yoshi's the most likely of them. I think we end up winning Coach of the Year. I think Corey Mace wins Coach of the Year, but I think Jamarcus Hardrick is your only player there with a legitimate shot at hardware at the end of the year, other than the Grey Cup,
which also makes me mad because that should be the redo for Logan Fertland last year. But yes, you're correct. Trevor Harris, obviously, it's going to be Rourke. Rourke for Canadian.
My guess is Betts out of
Betts
BC
out
for
of BC.
defensive player.
Special teams Vavel, rookie Vavel, yeah. Like it's gonna be swept by the West this year, I think.
And Canadian will go to Brady
Rourke.
or Rourke. Yeah, right. Keep forgetting he's Canadian. I don't know how they don't. They should really ram that down our throats.
That's all right. They'll be looking for a different award that Grey Cup week.
Yep.
Well, that's the opening kickoff presented by Kathy Festian of Royal LePage Next Level. Let's jump to Remember That Guy, sponsored by District 306, Regina's tactical laser tag experience. Greg has pulled some asinine stats, I assume, and college stuff that nobody knows.
I gotta get we're starting off hot. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Gonna pick a rider from at some point in rider history, and we're gonna have to guess based off his hints. Let's remember that guy. How many Rob Van Stones is this?
4?
Oof.
3 or 4?
Okay.
3 or 4. You might get it by 3. You might get it by 4. I don't know. Made the &1 street ball basketball team by winning the dunk competition, but declined because he was worried on how it would affect his college eligibility.
Wow. Okay. That's not Dennis Guile. I can tell you that.
It's definitely not Dennis Guile. Got a full scholarship to Coffeyville Community College where he played 1 year, then was recruited to Auburn.
Matt O'Donnell?
It's not Matt O'Donnell. Not that turnstile. Anyway. Was a Jet, Ticat, Alouette, Eskimo, Argo, Storm, Predator, Power, Bear, Shark, and Soul. He's well-traveled.
The Philadelphia Soul?
Yes. About over half those teams were in the AFL.
Yeah.
You don't say.
Has over 116 receiving touchdowns in that Arena Football League. Was
Murphy.
No. Was the CFL East most outstanding rookie? Traded. Okay. Yes.
Is it Preche Rodriguez?
It is Preche Rodriguez. Was traded to the right.
Whether you used him or not.
Yeah, I haven't used him yet. And wait till we get to answer number 7. Traded to the Riders for Adam Nicholson, a 3rd-round selection and an egg list player. And number 7, I know for a fact he's on Alex's list.
Oh, I'm trying to look to see where he is on my list. Oh, yeah, there he is. Yeah, Preche Rodriguez. Right next to Caleb Hawley on my list.
Yeah, him and his brother both played basketball and football in high school, and he made the and one street ball basketball team by winning the dunk competition. But he was worried it was going to affect his college eligibility because he had a full ride scholarship to Coffeyville Community College, and then he played 1 year there, and Auburn took him on.
He was set to be the next big thing here in the CFL, here in Riderville. I think there was a game. I'm trying to remember which game it was. Maybe it was it the 2010 home opener on Canada Day? He had a long touchdown catch, but I think they were interviewing Ryan Getzlaff on the sidelines.
They were, yeah.
And
I remember that. Yep, they were.
He had like a 60 or 70 yard touchdown catch.
Yep.
And it was just the quietest like announcement that you'd ever hear on the TV from a touchdown, because Ryan Getzlaff was talking, so you just let him go, and that was it.
So he only spent the one season in the Riders. He played first in 2010, and then he was quietly released, and then he ended up going to the Eskimos, or no, the Alouettes. Sorry. In 2011, he was with the Alouettes, Eskimos, and Argonauts, and then that's when he started bouncing around the Arena League.
I don't know why, but I swear he was both. I thought he was there longer and forgot he was a Rider at the same time.
He spent 2 years in Hamilton, 1 year here. And like I said, he bounced around the Alouettes, Eskimos, and Argos in 2011, and then started his AFL tour from 2012 to 2014. Then somehow he ended up on the Chicago Bears. And then the following season, he was back in the AFL, where he spent the next 2 seasons bouncing around 4 teams. So, yeah, you're right, Stevie. It felt like he was barely here, but here for longer than 1 season.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Probably because Alex brings him up every week.
Did he just have that one touchdown? Or did he have a couple for us?
Oh, I actually had his stats up and I closed them. His stats are, here we go. Got him right here. He, with the Saskatchewan Roughriders, he had 2 touchdowns. 376 yards. His longest was only 43 yards. So it was not.
That was
the one.
Okay.
That was the one. Yep. So, yeah,
okay.
he looked like he looked that first season in Hamilton. He put up over 1,000 yards.
Yeah,
like he looked like a world beater, and then he just fell off the map.
It's kind of crazy how often that happens, where you have guys that just light the world on fire, and then you never hear from them again. And that is what this whole segment is about.
American receivers, man.
His first season for the Tampa Bay Storm in 2012. 1,653 yards in arena football
on 50-yard fields.
Yeah, like that's a lot of running back and forth.
Appreciate Rodriguez. Remember that guy? Sponsored by District 306, Regina's tactical laser tag experience. Surprised I got that. Let's get to our Churchill.
The minute you stopped me, I knew you had it. I'm like, oh God, he got it.
Let's do our Churchill Brewing Company odds and end zones. Before we get going into things, check out our social medias. I already said that part, social medias. Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky, it's on there. Running a contest right now to enter. You get 2 tickets to the West Final. And because we figure it's probably going to be kind of cold on November 8th, I think that's a safe bet here in Regina. We'll warm you up a little bit too. Got some Rider swag for you. Get your choice of toques. We got 4 that you can choose from. And entering the contest, really simple. All you got to do is like, share, repost that stuff, the post there, and comment who's your favorite rider on this current team. There have been some really good tons of AJ Ouellette, tons of Kean Schaefer-Baker. I've seen a Tommy Stevens in there, Roland Milligan. Saw Tommy Neild in there as well too. So
the Tommy Stevens one was me.
And I've seen, a lot of the names that you'd expect. Joe and a couple Joe Robustellis were in there too. But when I see these names come through, I'm like, man, I like all these guys. There's a lot of likable guys on this roster. So hit up our socials. Contest will end on Friday, Halloween Day, October 31st. We'll do the draw then, so that gives a little bit of time for you to plan for next week and the West Finals. So hit our socials up, join the contest, and best of luck. Grey Cup. We got to talk about this. Grey Cup 2027 coming back to Regina. November 7th. It'll be the earliest Grey Cup in history. The league's going to move the week up. Gentlemen, let's hear the thoughts.
2 weeks up. 2 weeks up.
No, just one.
No, it's about a week. Just happens that the 7th is the Sunday, because if you look at it, this season's on the 16th. If it wasn't, it'd be on the 9th. But if you've noticed, I've been drinking from this cup all day. This is absolutely filled with the tears of the Eastern CFL fans, and I love it.
And Edmonton.
If I hear Edmonton, I at least feel a little bad for. But honestly, if I hear one more comment about how we don't have enough hotel rooms, I'm gonna laugh. There's enough. Book early, you'll be fine, and we'll be warm and we'll enjoy it here. Yeah. $500 a night. I'll put like 7 air mattresses in my basement. Come on, let's go.
And don't get me wrong, like I get it, kinda, but I also get it from a business standpoint. If you let's be honest, if you look at how Winnipeg has handled this year's festival,
yikes,
a bit of a gong show. The biggest complaint of the last Grey Cup the Riders hosted was the halftime act, and that's not our fault. So I don't blame the league coming back. And if we want to play a little conspiracy theory-ish, that's also going to be the first year of the new rules.
And that's, I did want to get there, because I do believe this announcement has layers. Mm-hmm. Picking Saskatchewan in 2027, specifically for that season, has layers. Mm-hmm. And that's one of them. The Riders are going to have to, and the city of Regina is going to have to redo the field in 2027 and restitch in their lines, whatever they're going to do, new turf, and
please don't stitch in the lines.
God. You think they won't? Anyway, that's another discussion. That said, they're going to have to do the field renos for that year anyway.
Yep.
So I don't want to say what better place to have it, but you kind of know that things will be fine here.
There's a reason why the first CFL week was hosted here. You know what you're going to get coming to Saskatchewan.
It's almost like we're the test market, right? Because you know the game's going to sell out. You know the parties are going to be great with everything happening all at the real buildings there right beside the stadium.
Cooperative Center, yeah.
The Cooperative Center. Literally everything's going to be there. There's going to be no outside street festival. They're moving it inside, which I'm looking forward to not having to wear a big giant jacket to go through Grey Cup street parties and whatever. So
I still miss the giant tent on Scarth. I'm sorry. That was my favorite party.
As somebody who worked out on in Tower 1 while there was the big tent on Pat's Plaza, that was delightful too.
The fact remains is there's only 2 markets you can go that year as the test market. It's either Winnipeg or Saskatchewan. Problem is Winnipeg's got it this year. So next year you get to go to Calgary. You're still going to get all those West fans. But here's the other problem that East fans are having trouble digesting. Hamilton just got it. Montreal's not getting it until the Big O is done. Toronto doesn't care. And Ottawa is looking at redoing Lansdowne 2.0.
Massive renos there. You got to make sure that's ready to go. You can't, like, if they're saying that's going to be ready in the second half of 2027, you can't take your chance there if you're the league.
And believe me, working in construction, things get delayed. Like remember when Princess Auto Stadium got basically canceled for a year, and they were lucky they didn't tear down Canadiens? Like, stuff happens. So you've got literally the jewel of the CFL up yours, Princess Auto Stadium. Here, you've got
Hi, Kathy.
Yeah, you have a contained party zone where you know it's going to run smoothly. You've got a engaged fan base. You've got a volunteer base. You know is second to none. So why not? Especially in a year that's going to be very turmoil filled, because you know that year there's going to be a bunch of fans complaining about the season because they're never going to be happy with the new rules.
Yep.
And the new fields. Because I'm kind of thinking, I was kind of thinking about that because me and Steve are still in the end zone. I'm like, we are going to be 15 yards further away from action.
Only 10.
Season. 10 yards. Well, we're already 10 yards away based on what it is, so it's going further away.
We'll be 10 yards further from the near end zone, but we will be 10 yards closer to the other one.
I hate you.
That's a nice spin there.
I've got a job offer in from the CFL.
I was going to say, is Stuart Johnson in your inbox?
Working
What
in
the heck is that?
PR now or what?
Hey, you got to find the happiness in everything.
Actually, here's a tip for the CFL. I know you're getting rid of the 55-yard line. The 50-yard line, put a C. Put a giant C there.
Mhm.
You will probably placate half the fans that way.
They'll forget all about it.
Will they? Sure. Have you met CFL fans?
Yeah, they never forget everything. Anything.
Yeah, we're still talking about Tony Gabriel in this market, man. I don't know what you want from me.
Why would you say that name? We weren't even alive for that, and it still hurts.
Yeah, that's a banning. Can't do it. You get a little timeout, just a little timeout there. But yeah, Grey Cup coming to Regina. Selfishly, obviously, I love that. But I like I said, I think it has the layers to do with the league, with the field, and the changes that are coming. I think it's the safe market to do it in. And when you look at the trajectory of this team, on the ups right now, assuming they can, stay very, very competitive.
Figure out the quarterback situation in 2 years.
Yeah, Curtis Rourke.
Hopefully.
But assuming that, is kind of there, you're looking at, could you see another 2013 happen? Maybe.
Yeah.
Way too early to tell, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
We want
no, but you know that's what the Riders are thinking. This team is on the rise. They got to get the quarterback situation figured out, but I'm certain Reynolds is thinking 2013 all over again with the trajectory of this team. The core is going to be there. The biggest question is going to be who's the quarterback.
Yeah. But, if you're upset that your team didn't win a bid, well, only Edmonton and Saskatchewan bid on it, apparently. So, sucks to suck, I guess. I do want to give one more shot to the Winnipeg Grey Cup committee. Their jersey. Did you see the Winnipeg Grey Cup jersey?
You mean those Los Angeles Rams jerseys?
It looks like a box of Kraft dinner on a jersey. It's blue and like yellowish orange. It's not gold. I don't know.
No, it's the Los Angeles Rams Temu jerseys. I swear to God, I've seen those on Temu.
They're hideous, absolutely hideous. And it just kind of talked about it a little bit last week and this week about the about their committee and how they've messed things up. It's on brand. I'll say this. Okay. That jersey is on brand for what we've seen.
In defense of the Winnipeg.
Wow.
And
you've changed over the last 30
Can we
seconds,
ban him again before he finishes the sentence?
None of those fan jerseys for the Grey Cup are ever good.
Oh, no, but this is just awful.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, but they're never, none of them are ever good. Even the one that they put out for the Riders last time wasn't good. Those things go, those like, you get a few suckers, they give them away, and then the rest of the time it's like, hey, we're giving away free Riders merch, and it's like all the the rejected Grey Cup stuff. Like,
They box them up with the Super Bowl loser shirts and ship them off to other countries. And
Overseas.
even those kids are like, "No, I'm good.
Yeah.
This thing's ugly. No."
Yeah. Those are never good. Like, prove me wrong. Those have never been nice.
One other thing on the Churchill Brewing Company odds and end zones. Greg, I don't know how much you want to talk about this.
I've worked through my feelings.
Have you?
I kind of went on a mini rant, but I went on.
Yes, you did.
Honestly, I went on a mini rant before we started the show, so I got that part out of my system. The Thunder
Regina
lost.
Thunder.
Yeah.
Sorry. Regina Thunder, the PFC championship against the Saskatoon Hilltops this past Sunday. Did not go how you wanted it to go, Greg. It's going to be Saskatoon against the Okanagan Sun in the national championship this upcoming weekend in Saskatoon.
Yep. November 9th is the bye week. Sorry, November 9th.
Right. Yes. Thank you. Sunday, November 9th.
Hats off to the Hilltops. They're the reason why right now they are the measuring stick. The Thunder are always there with them. Obviously, we were first in the PFC this year. That's why we got to host them at Mosaic this year. But the Sarge puts together a good program. Sarge is Sarge.
Mm-hmm.
That said, it sucks watching a bunch of 18 to 22-year-olds, especially the 22-year-olds, like those fifth-year players that are playing their last game, to think they were up 19-9 at the half, up by 15 points in the fourth quarter, to lose it all at in overtime. It was I explained to you, it felt like 2009 all over again for me, and I wasn't playing. Like, it was a gut punch, especially considering and poor Sean Green. That kid is going to, and I say kid, he's 22 years old. He is going to probably remember that 52-yarder that he put off the crossbar with 3 seconds left for the rest of his life, to follow up with the Hilltops take a penalty, he gets 15 yards closer, and then shanks the next kick to put it in overtime. So I never played football growing up. Mooseman didn't have a football team. I played hockey. I remember my losses, especially in like big games. A game like that is going to live with a lot of these guys for a long time, and it breaks my heart to think that, because it was a hell of a game. For anyone who came to and watched that game that didn't have a dog in the fight, got a very good game. But my heart's out to the fifth-year players. Good luck to the Hilltops against the Sun. The Sun were down by quite a bit at halftime. They were actually scoreless at halftime against the defending champions, the St. Clair Saints, and they came back and absolutely throttled them in the second half.
They kicked the crap out of them, didn't they?
I think they scored 34 unanswered points in the second half.
Yeah.
So they, in front of their home crowd, like it was like 29-0, I think, or at the half, and they won 34-29 or something stupid like that. I'd have to go back. Like they came back from a big deficit. So, as much as I'm not a fan of the Hilltops, I'm a big fan of the CJFL. So November 9th, if you are in Saskatoon or in the area and you want to see a good football game, Suns and Hilltops will be I almost swore, a barn burner. Go check it out. I will not cheer for the Hilltops because that's just the way I'm wired. And I'm not going to cheer for the Sun either, because I was actually once the Sun won, I was looking forward to playing the Sun, because the Thunder have unfinished business against the Sun. So It's going to be a good game. I don't care who wins, but it's going to be a good game.
I will say this about the Regina Thunder. They have come so far in the last even just 4 or 5 years to where it was the Hilltops or nobody. Like it wasn't even close in the PFC. The fact that they've gotten to their level, have surpassed them, and now have that rivalry that is literally anybody could win it at any time in anyone's park, like that's impressive.
I had to laugh 2 weeks ago after the Thunder and the Hilltops both laid a beating on their semifinal opponents. So I saw a tweet and I laughed and I shared it with a few people I know. Some guys like, just let the Hilltops and the Thunder play like a best of 9.
Yeah.
And that's it. Because they are the pinnacle right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're 1A, 1B. And it's funny. I was kind of joking around with one of the dads before the game started, and I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wish this game was in Saskatoon. He's like, "What? Well, we're in Mosaic. This is awesome." Like I made new like video ribbon boards for Mosaic Stadium. It's pretty cool seeing my artwork all around the stadium. And he's like, "Well, why? Like you did all of this?" And I'm like, "We play them better in their park. Like we play them better in Saskatoon than we do here." And
When you want to, oh, sorry.
no, go ahead. No, go ahead.
You want to talk about an evenly matched pair and how far the Thunder have come. All 3 matches came down to 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You cannot ask for a tighter series between two of the CJFL's juggernauts at this point. And it's heartbreaking that the Thunder came out on the losing end of it. But you have to look at that as a whole and compare them to where they were a decade ago and go, you know what? They're on the ups and this is going to continue. There's a clear trajectory that this program has gone on, that you feel like they have a legitimate shot at a Canadian Bowl every season now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's new territory for Regina.
Well, and the worst part is, like I said, the Thunder had a lead, and the Hilltops are the Hilltops. They came back. Sarge made some good moves. He made some. He actually pulled their starting quarterback and put in their backup because the starting quarterback couldn't get the job done. Like that's just the way Sarge is. And when it went to overtime, I turned and looked to Kelly Rempel, who's one of the dads and who does a bunch of media around Regina, and I looked at him and I went, and he's his son's on the team, so he's kind of semi freaking out, and I'm like, what'd you expect? Like, the season series was a tie. Legitimately was a tie. Like, this was what it was supposed to be. We just need to lock in. And unfortunately, the Hilltops scored a touchdown when we could only score a field goal. It is what it is.
No good way to segue out of that. That's well.
Go sports team. Yeah, good.
kind of how we're feeling about maybe one of these games coming up in the CFL. Let's get
there's
to
a good transition. There's a good transition.
Yeah, let's get to our enemy preview. Not previewing the Router game, but presented by Creasy's Premium Home Leisure Jacuzzi Spas. The 2 playoff games this week. We're not going to take a deep look in it, but the first one, the East semifinal, Winnipeg
Montreal
at Montreal. We're all LA Les Alouettes on this one.
That's how you say that, Blake. LA Les Alouettes.
They played each other last week. Winnipeg won that one.
Won?
Backups.
In air quotes.
That was
nobody won that game.
And you know, I feel bad for you, Steve, because I know how much it hurts you.
Don't.
Strevion.
Say his name and he appears. Steve believes in Chris Strevi. Steve believes in Chris Strevi.
You're going to make me say bad things about a guy who just got injured?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and especially a non-contact injury, you hate to see that.
Yeah, that was the bad.
Like, that sucks. But the good news was that he had a big brace on his knee. Wasn't dressed for practice for their day 1 of practice, but he was out there kind of bouncing around on the knee, hopping around. So that's good news because you just never want to see that, right? But we do want to see Winnipeg lose. The good news on that front is that Nick Dembski didn't practice, and again, not hoping for injuries or anything, but with his hamstring right now, they've held him out the last couple games. If Nick Dembski can't go for that game against Montreal, I don't know if Winnipeg's chances of scoring 20 points or more on offense is going to be very good, especially when they just refuse to give the ball to Brady Oliveira.
I'm not. If Dembski's on this game, they're going to get Gavin Cobb to do his Nick Dembski impression again. I'm worried about their future because they've got their two key injuries right now are Dembski because the entire offense runs through their slot back apparently, and their backup short yardage quarterback. And I don't like it. I don't think Davis Alexander's losing his first game this weekend.
Not yet.
Part of me wonders if their offensive coordinator has just been playing chicken all season long because they can't go into another game down a guy like Nick Dembski, down their short yardage guy, down a bunch of guys, and not use Brady Oliveira.
40
every
touches
time he
this
touches,
week.
every time he touches the ball, he does something good, and yet they continue to try and make old ball Zach Caleros try and throw the football. I don't get it.
I don't know why old balls got me, but it got me.
Like everybody can see it. When I was in Winnipeg last week, the amount of anger aimed at their offensive coordinator was akin to how we felt for years about Craig Dickinson, but maybe even worse. It was like you could feel it in the air. The sarcasm every time that Brady Oliveira touched the ball, fans were yelling at the coordinator instead of celebrating a play. They were making sure their OC, who was up in the booth, knew how they felt about it. It was insane.
The wild thing is, he was the running backs coach. He knows exactly what Brady Oliveira can do. I don't get it either. Like I hope Jason Hogan is gainfully employed by the Winnipeg Football Club for a long
lifetime contract.
Oh,
Rider Nation might pay for that deal.
Ironclad, you can give him the $77,000 that you gave Darian Durant. I don't care.
Are you saying he's screwed the Bombers just as much?
If they have an offensive plan like they have the last couple weeks, yes. Don't get me wrong. Nothing would make me feel better than if the Riders met the Bombers in the Grey Cup and the Bombers had to use the visitors' dressing room. But if the Bombers don't make the Grey Cup, that's even better.
Yeah, I don't want them there. They're playing the why not us card. Well, because nobody's ever done it before and you're not going to. That's why not you.
Better teams have tried and failed. Yep. They are not a good football team right now, and they're going up against two really good teams. Yeah, if they were playing through Princess Auto Stadium, I'd like their chances. They had the best home record in the league. On the road, they had Ottawa-like numbers.
So the other one, the West semifinal, the one that we're going to be watching very closely here in Rider Nation, Calgary at BC.
Upper deck is open.
Yeah. 20,000 plus sold right now, trending towards hopefully 30,000, I think, is what they're hoping for in this one. I don't even know what to say about this one. Who would you guys rather see win this game? Because it's not about a preview of the game per se. It's about who you want to see us play next week.
After last week, I want to see us play BC.
And I told you before the show, I think BC is the answer, just for the simple fact. I think it's not that Calgary is a better team; they're a puzzle piece team. We do not line up with them for some obscure reason, yet our backups can hold BC. So I'd rather play BC. Don't get me wrong; if BC puts it together, like Rourke's good, Bet's good, they've got the tools, but we some reason match up way better with BC, or we scheme better against BC. I don't know what it is.
Well, that's exactly what it is. You look at the games we played against Calgary, and we got absolutely walloped. And I'll look at the second game. That's a hard one to really scale on because of the smoke and the delay in the game and everything that went through it. But that game in Calgary, we got destroyed for 60 minutes. Yet we're performing consistently well against BC. We beat them twice. Should have beat them a third time if Al Bradbury knew what he was doing or his reffing crew knew what they were doing. Yes, I need one more shot at Al Bradbury. We'll play the rant. BC is the better matchup, but I feel confident against either team. going into the playoffs. The way this offense is moving and the way our defense can play and the way our defensive line has been playing.
Don't play the Bradbury rant because that means I got edited out of Sastel Max. So
I'm looking to see if I have it here. It's I think I have it.
I see you look at your phone. I'm like, please don't play it. I can't. That is going to be a lot of editing tonight, and I'm already tired.
I'll dig it up after for the post game show.
We will do. Tell our fans what we are our 7 fans. We might play it on a live stream that does not go on Sastel.
Piffles after dark.
Yeah.
Let's just say a few Churchills were consumed prior to that rant.
Yeah.
And by a few, it was a lot. It was a lot. Wasn't that at halftime too?
Yeah. I came and found you at halftime. I don't remember what game it was, but it was at the new stadium. And you had a rant for the ages. All right. Last thing here on the show this week, the spread. It's time for Piffles Picks.
Piffles Picks.
Well, folks, when you're right 52% of the time, you're wrong 48% of the time.
Those games we
too
just
high. I'm too high.
Oh, your percentage?
Yes.
Sorry.
I needed to go 1 and 3. I need to go 1 and 3.
You can give me one of your wins if you'd like. I could use a few of them.
Yeah, you could.
You know what? In fairness, I finished the regular season 5 games under 500, most of which I
lost 10 in a row before the coin came into play.
Yeah. And you weren't doing good before then, too.
No.
Before the 10.
No, I was awful until I flipped to the coin. I'd love to go back and find out exactly when I flipped to the coin and to see if I had better numbers than I think I did than the both of you over that stretch from then on.
Oh, probably. I've had
more than Alex, definitely than
awful,
Alex. I think I was consistent. I think I was consistent. But.
Oh yeah, I've had like 5 awful weeks in a row where I haven't been better than 500, and I still beat you guys.
Yeah, because there's a few weeks you went 4-0. That's why, and I almost caught you, but you.
Oh yeah, at the start of the year, I was on fire. Wins count just the same in week 1 as they do in week 21. Okay.
Yeah. Hamilton proved that this year.
Yeah. Winnipeg at Montreal. I'll take a guess on this one since Steve is drinking right now. I will guess that Montreal is favored by 2.5.
I'm going to go 5.5.
4.5. It's actually moved to 5.5.
Yes. Default.
I'll take Montreal.
You know, I want to use the coin, but I'm not going to. I'm just taking Montreal.
Oh,
whoa.
Doing it. Oh, no. Wait. Hang on.
Gabriel.
Oh.
No!
Sorry, Greg. I'm taking Winnipeg.
You don't have to edit that. It's fine.
I will have to put something in that spot. It's getting a beep of some sort. Me just saying Tony Gabriel, 1 or 2.
My apologies. It's your fault for making me flip the coin.
I'm going Montreal.
And second game, Calgary at BC. Steve, do you want to take a crack at this one?
I'm gonna go the same thing. BC 6.5.
I will say 5.5 BC.
4.5 again.
4.5 again.
Way to be original, Vegas.
I think it's BC.
I think BC too. All day, every day.
BC. Coin says BC.
There we go.
We'll see what happens. Wondering, we got 49.5 in the Winnipeg Montreal game and 53.5 in the Calgary BC game.
I think even in the dome, that Calgary BC game is going to be under. I think that'll be under.
Both defenses do have some ball hawks, and
Calgary's defense is solid. I don't think they're in that top tier, but they're probably in that tier below.
The Montreal Winnipeg one, 49.5 has me intrigued, but I think Montreal's going to have to score at least 30.
hopefully they score about 40. That'd be great.
I'd love that game to be over at halftime.
But we will leave it there. Make sure you go to our social medias, enter the contest for 2 tickets to the West Final in your choice of toques. We got them all here. You get 2 of them, your choice, and tickets to the game. And cheer on the Riders next week in the West Final against either Calgary or BC. But what are you laughing at?
I'm just thinking how much work it's going to be to edit that out.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Just put a Chris Strevler thing in there. Piffles Podcast.
Sorry.
It's brought to you by our great friends at Dairy Queen on Elphinstone Street and Sass Drive in Regina. Special thanks, of course, to Kathy Festrin of Royal LePage Next Level, Churchill Brewing Company, District 306, Regina's Tactical Laser Tech Experience, Bigfoot Vodka, and Creasy's Premium Home Leisure Jacuzzi Spas for their support, making everything possible. Thanks for listening wherever you get your pods. Thanks for watching on SaskTel Max TV on demand on YouTube. And we'll see you guys next week as we look ahead to the West Final. This is Tyler Gilbert with Ghost Behind Your Mind.
Thank you for being such a big supporter and fan of the CFL and myself personally.